Welcome to the Mindset Mutiny. I am your host, Mike Ivanov. Join me as we challenge the status quo, break free from self-imposed limits, and redefine what's possible. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Real quick, hit the subscribe button for me, would you please? I need that from you so we can keep doing this. And I hate asking, but hurry up and press it. Anyway, let's get started. You've been lied to. I'm sorry about that, but you have been. Everyone sells growth like it's some glossy feel-good path filled with gratitude journals, protein shakes, and morning fucking sunrises. It's not real. Influencers, they show that curated highlight reel. Podcasts tell you to manifest success. YouTube life coaches give you 3 fucking steps to rewire your mindset. And yeah, there's a place for that shit. I'm not saying it's all fake, but I'm telling you, it's not the whole truth. Because real growth doesn't look good on camera. It's not clean. It's not aesthetic. It's not polished. It's violent. It's painful. And it's fucking lonely. It's so lonely. It's waking up in the middle of the night with anxiety because you don't know who you are anymore. It's breaking down in the car after a long day because you're carrying the weight of a future that hasn't yet arrived. It's showing up anyway. It's screaming into the pillow, lifting with rage, running until you break, not because it feels good, but because you have to. Those are all things that resonate with me absolutely personally. Growth has been really hard, really dark. And I've needed those runs. I've needed those lifts. I need jiu-jitsu to confirm that I'm in the right place. I need that to strengthen the mind further so that I can continue to grow. It's not about the miles. It's not about the weight. It's not about choking people. It's about pushing the mind to do things that it doesn't think it can do. Because when the real shit comes, you can count on yourself. That's why I do it. I'm preparing for something bigger to come. So I mentioned that I have this big speech to do in front of 8,000 people. If I hadn't been doing all of these other things, pushing myself into my fears, doing the things I don't want to do, pushing through burnout, all of this type of shit, I wouldn't be ready for this. I probably would say no. But because I've taken all of these steps, I've been in the dark growing, I can accept that challenge. So I always use this term going dark, and some people laugh at me for it, but it means so much to me. It's a mental signal that I'm locking in, and that for 30, 60, 90, 120 days, nothing else is going to matter. Don't bother me. I'm fucking locked in. I did it recently. I think it was in January. Got off Instagram for 60 days, locked the fuck in, built something huge. I think you all should consider going dark, especially, now that we're talking about growth being dark, it just works. Go dark. Get rid of all the distractions, get rid of all the noise, and just focus. Focus on number one, making yourself better every single day. Go dark for 30, 60, 90, 120 days, whatever you picture, and then pop your head out after that. See if you recognize anything. You won't. Your perspectives will change. You'll be a different person. I challenge you to do it. Put the fucking phone away, man. It's ruining your life. You think you're going to level up with that phone in your hand? Nope. And while we're talking about leveling up, most people say they want to. but they have no clue what they actually mean by that. Because real growth, it's not sexy. It's not clean. It's fucking hard. It's brutal. And if you're not willing to suffer, to get ugly, to sacrifice everything you think you know, then this path isn't for you. But if you're still listening, if you're still here, then welcome. This is the dark side of growth, and this is where your evolution begins. Growth begins with death. Not literal, but internal. Some of you that have known me for a while have probably heard me say that I killed the old Mike. At first, it was the fat Mike. How to kill that motherfucker. I buried him. He's never coming back. He's dead. Don't even recognize him when I look back in pictures. And I used to think that that was the only version of myself that I killed. And yeah, it needs to be brutal. I know, like when you say kill, that shit like that, people might get a little queasy about it. But you have to make that designation in your mind. Because if you don't, you'll allow that old person to still live, which will rob you of whatever you're trying to do. Right? So there's been many versions of myself that I've had to kill. And it's okay because the next evolution is better. The next evolution is more ready to take on the world. The next evolution is more equipped to walk into my calling. Right? So I have to talk about these things. I killed the old fat Mike. I killed the old comfortable Mike. I killed the Mike that was afraid to public speak. I handled this stuff. So I want to share with you that growth starts with the death of the old you. When you decide to change your life, not just say you want to change it, but you truly decide to change it, you are declaring war on the version of yourself that got you here. And that version, they're not going to go quietly. That version has been built for years, has had habits for years, years of shortcuts, years of rationalizing weakness. That's the guy who skips the workouts because he's tired. That's the guy who avoids hard conversations. That's the guy who lives in the gray area, half committed, therefore half alive. And here's the truth. You can't level up and keep that version of you alive. So what do you have to do? You got to fucking kill him. You starve out his excuses, you suffocate his distractions, you bury his doubts, and the funeral won't feel good. I promise you that. You'll grieve, you'll resist, you'll want to go back to what was familiar. But that's the fucking price. I've paid it many, many times, and I've never regretted it. And when you finally pull the trigger on that old self, you'll feel something different. Freedom. Now you're no longer dragging the dead weight into your future. You're walking into it with your eyes wide open and a fucking weapon in your hand. Again, this path is not for everyone. I have to warn you. Nobody talks about the loneliness. When you just start demanding more from yourself, you start making people uncomfortable. You might be uncomfortable right now. Good. When you start demanding more from yourself, people stop calling. Invitations stop showing up. The group chat starts drying out. Sometimes you might even think something's wrong with you, but nothing's wrong. You're just no longer available for mediocrity. You're not showing up to gossip. You're not wasting weekends numbing yourself. You're not fucking talking about the weather. You're not chasing cheap dopamine anymore. And people don't know what to do with that. I have noticed that growth creates distance. And that most people out there, they don't want to grow. They want comfort. You show them what's possible and it makes them uncomfortable. So they'll pull back. They'll laugh at you. They'll say you've changed. And you know what? You have. Because you're supposed to. The path you're on, it's lonely, but it's sacred. Because only those willing to suffer for greatness will ever find it. You can be disciplined. You can have a perfect schedule. But if your mind isn't under control, you're not ready for war. Your brain, left unchecked, will sabotage everything. It'll replay every failure. It'll whisper every insecurity. It'll convince you that you're not ready, that you're not capable, that you're wasting your time. The mental war zone isn't loud like you think it would be. It's quiet. It happens when no one's around. You'll have moments where you're crushed by doubt, where you're exhausted, where quitting seems logical. And in that silence, you have a choice. Fold or fight. Because this is where the separation happens. Most people break right here. They back off when it gets heavy. But you, us, together, you plant your feet. You square your jaw. And you whisper, bring it. Because the voice in your head doesn't get the final say. You do. And when you learn to override that weakness with action, with movement, with fire, you become untouchable. People think failure is the opposite of growth. That if you're failing, you're doing something wrong. And as I'm talking about this right now, I'm fast forwarding to a moment a couple years ago. I was talking to my wife about something. And I had said, like, I've never failed at anything in my life. And I was saying it to say, like, hey, I can do this, right? Never failed at anything in my life. So it was like a positive self-talk. But at the same time, I'm thinking, well, shit, if I haven't failed at anything in my life, then I'm not trying hard enough. Right? If you're not failing at anything in your life, you're not trying hard enough. If you're not the beginner in something, you're leaving shit on the table. And it's funny to look at my mindset those couple of years ago. Because it's just seeing how fast I've changed. And all of these things I've chosen in the last couple of years were all giant fears, were all things I've failed at. And now I've turned those failures into successes. And you can do the same thing. If you're failing, you're not doing something wrong. You're doing something right. If you're not failing, you're playing too small. Growth is born in failure, in taking the shots you're not ready for, in swinging and missing. Every time you fall short, you get a gift. You learn where you're weak. You learn what needs to be sharpened. That's fucking great. But most people avoid it. They build a little world they can dominate in, where they can stay safe, where they can stay competent. That's some toxic fucking shit. Think about that. People build a little world they can dominate in. God, think about that. How limiting is that? Putting yourself on a playing field where you're the best. What the fuck? I need you to think about it because you're probably doing it. I think about it all the time. When you're in a field where you don't dominate, it's scary. It's uncomfortable. It's growth. So stop building this little world. Take the long shots. You step into the arena where you're the underdog, where you bleed, where you take losses. And that's where the greatest is forged. You build resistance by not being the best in the room. You build resilience by not being best in the room. Sorry. You grow by choosing discomfort. So stop fearing the failure. Start chasing it. Because the man who's willing to fail more will always become more. You don't get a life without pain. It's not how it works. That's why you just can't stay comfortable, because life isn't designed that way. You will get fucking crushed. But you get to choose the type of pain. One pain is sharp, clean, intentional. It's the pain of getting up early, pushing limits, grinding, failing when no one's watching, right? The other is slow and it's quiet. It's the pain of watching your potential rot. The pain of waking up in a life you didn't fight for. Discipline, yeah, it hurts in the short term, but regret hurts forever. So stop running from pain. Start choosing it. Choose the pain that sharpens you, the pain that strips away weakness, the pain that builds armor around your soul. Every rep, every run, every hard conversation, every decision, that's a fucking brick. And brick by brick, you build a version of you that doesn't break. You want to live soft? You'll suffer harder later. But if you train yourself to suffer now, intentionally, you'll rise while the rest stay buried. So now that you know growth isn't cute, it's not inspirational, it's not perfectly curated journey, it's blood, it's isolation, it's screaming in the car after a hard day, but still showing up the next morning. It's telling the world no and telling yourself yes. Growth is war, and every day you're either gaining ground or you're giving it up. So here's your choice. Keep pretending, keep lying to yourself, keep playing small and blaming your past, or burn your old life to the ground. Stand in the flames and rise as someone no one, not even you, saw coming. Let's fucking go.